Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. I've been getting several questions this week about my red and white Christmas tree skirt that you see up here on your right hand side of the screen. They really like it, but they want to change the length of it. Some wanted it shorter, some wanted it longer. So you have to change the diameter of it. So here is the pattern that you see in that tutorial. And by the way, if you're interested in making this tree skirt, the link will be listed below your YouTube screen. So up here, it's kind of like a pie shape. It's narrower up here, and then it goes out at a diagonal, expanding out, and then the bottom edge has a slightly curved edge. This is a 40-inch diameter tree skirt when it is done, roughly 41 inches. It depends on what your seam allowance is like. So I'm going to show you how you can take the pattern that's in the tutorial and change the length. So keep in mind that the original pattern size is meant for a 40-inch diameter tree skirt. Let's say you want to make it a smaller size. One of the viewers wanted to make it 30-inch diameter. So you would subtract the two to find the difference in the length. It's 10 inches. So you're going to take that 10 inches, that difference, and divide it by 2, which equals 5. So you're going to alter that pattern by 5 inches. The larger size, let's say you wanted it much bigger. One of the viewers wanted to make it 60 inches. So subtract the difference between the two. That's 20 inches. Now take the 20 inches and divide it by 2, and that equals 10. And that's the difference that you're going to make it longer. So in the tutorial, I told you to take a large piece of paper and fold it in half. And then up here at the top folded edge, you're going to go out from this folded edge and go out a ½ inch. Put a little mark. So now from that top folded edge, in the tutorial it tells you to go down 18½ inches on the folded edge from the top. Put a little mark. Then take a ruler and draw a line going straight out 4½ inches. Then, I'm going to move this down a little bit. You're going to place your ruler at the top mark and connect it to that 18½ inch line down there and draw a straight line. So you've got your diagonal line and this little dash line. Then you just gently draw a curved edge. So that is the original pattern. So for those of you who want to make it smaller, you're going to do the following. So here is that original line that is 18½ inches down the folded edge. So to make it smaller, you're going to go up above it, whatever number of inches you want to make it smaller. And then you're just going to draw a line, then draw a little curved edge. And this curved edge allows for seam allowance. To make it longer, remember the one viewer wanted it 60 inches and we calculated that she needed to increase her pattern by 10. So from that 18½ inch mark, you're going to go down 10 inches and put a little mark and then draw a line going out, okay? Then you're going to put your ruler back on the original diagonal line here, line it up, and continue that line out. And that's how you decrease and increase this pattern. Many of you know that I love panel fabric. I buy a lot of it and I enjoy working with it. Sometimes I don't cut into the panel and cut it up in smaller pieces. Often I just keep it the way it is and make a quilt out of it. But every now and then I find a panel piece that I'm not quite sure what to do with it. And that's this one right here. It is called Peppermint Parlor, and I'll have the information about this piece of fabric down in the description section below your YouTube screen. You just scroll down, click on Show More or the down arrow, and it will expand open. You can probably find this on Etsy.com. Now, if you'll notice, there are 9 squares and 3 other larger sections on it. I didn't really want to turn it into a quilt or even a wall hanging. It would make a beautiful wall hanging. But let me show you what I have in mind for this. Before you decide to start cutting into panel fabric, because once you cut into it, it's over. So you have to move forward. But sketch out a design that you think you would like it to be. I had a table runner in mind. At first, I was just going to put all 9 squares into it, but I thought, I really love the larger pieces. So this is what I'm thinking about doing. I would start out with 2 squares at one end, then put a larger one, then 2, then 1, and continue on down. Now this is using only 8 of those squares. I'm going to have 1 left over. That's okay, it's all right to have 1 left over. If you wanted to add length to this table runner, if you decide to do something like this, you want at least anywhere from a 2-inch strip in between, 2.5-inch, 3-inch. It depends on how long you want your table runner to be. So first you need to add up the measurements of all of these right here. Then decide how wide your strips are going to be. So you would add a strip here, add these on, sew a strip on, and keep going on down until you have everything stitched together. And then add another strip on each side so that it will finish it and make it look balanced. You want it to look balanced. Also, select fabrics that work with each other. You may want to put red in there, maybe you want a black background fabric or a bright green. So again, before you cut into anything, lay fabrics next to it. Does it work? It doesn't look very good. If you have doubts, it's probably not working. You need to select another fabric. Last year I did an autumn quilt, and these 2 sections here, I cut off of it. Because of what I was trying to do with that quilt, I decided not to use these sections. Now, I didn't throw them away because I can still use these. When I first looked at these, I immediately thought of drink coasters. They would be perfect for that. Those are easy and quick to make. But let me show you how you can turn it into an interesting pot holder. Now, supposing you do want to make the drink coasters. Those are quick and so easy. So here's the little square, and then you find another square the same size as this and put it on the back. And then you could select one of the colors in your design to either self-bind it or do your regular quilt binding on it. And these would be beautiful on a little coffee table. Now let's look at what you can do for a pot holder. Here's some of the 2 squares that you had left over. You could take a fabric, either a solid, select one of the colors in here, find something that matches that or is very close to it, or select a print that has these colors in it. So you would do something called a 4-patch design. So you would stitch these 2 together, then these 2, and then stitch the 2 rows together. Then you can either do self-binding or put quilt binding on the edge. Again, you have to cut fabric that's this size for the back of it, and then you could put a little loop on it. So don't throw any of those pretty little squares away, because those would be making great gifts for your family and friends. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that you learned something new. Don't forget to check below your YouTube screen for that link about the tree skirt. Also, there are many other tips of the week that I have, so you can click on the playlist and watch them all. They're all going to be very helpful to you, especially if you are a beginner. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy sewing! If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny. See you next time.